Welcome. Chapter 7 Python function. In this section, we are going to see about the anonymous function and scope of variables. See, what is anonymous function? In Python, anonymous function is a function that is defined without a name, while normal functions are defined using def keyword. In Python, anonymous functions are defined with using the lambda keyword. Hence, anonymous functions are also called as lambda function. Here one thing clearly we can see that the lambda and anonymous function both are same. Then what is anonymous function actually? In basic function all other programming language, it will be declared in outside of the main program, or else within inside the program the separate structure or separate place will be allocated for the function, isn't it? Here also we are having the same structure, the normal functions, but one more additional option is given by the Python, that is called anonymous function. It can be used within a single line. You can create a single line function without any declaring already in your structure, so that we can call this function as anonymous function. Wherever you need such a function, you can include this function directly within your code. Okay, now we see what is the use of lambda or anonymous function. Lambda function is most used for creating small and one time anonymous function. Just now I said that the anonymous functions are we are going to use within our code directly. So this is used for small and one time access. Lambda functions are mainly used in combination with functions like filter, map and reduce. It is worked with or worked along with these functions. What are the functions? Filter, map, reduce or some other mathematical or built-in functions. Syntax for the anonymous function. See here, with the lambda keyword followed by arguments, then colon, after that the expression. Here the lambda keyword announces the interpreter which this is the anonymous function. Then arguments will be received by the interpreter, and along with this argument next following expression will be calculated. Now we see with this syntax as an example. Sum lambda argument 1 argument 2 then colon, immediately we just calculated the value of sum argument 1 plus argument 2. Here the sum of values, two values function is included in a single line without any defining, so that only we are calling this as a anonymous function. The next line print the sum is sum of 30 comma 40. Here the value 30 and 40 will be passed to the argument 1 and 2, then it will be calculated the value of 30 plus 40, then print as a output the sum is 70. Next print statement call again the function. Here you can see minus 30 and 40, the sum is 10, it will be also printed in the output. Here one thing you want to notice that within this include the lambda function. Simultaneously or sequentially you can access multiple time. Okay, now we want to see about the return statement. The return statement already we have seen in many if else and while statement and all. What is return? Return is going to send some value to the caller where it was called. Here you see the return statement causes your function to exit first and returns a value to its caller. Okay, the point of function is general is to take inputs and return something. The return statement is used when function is ready to return a value, that means after the calculation is over, or else after the functionality is completely over, then only it will ready to send some value. So only one return statement is executed at runtime, even though the function contains multiple return statements. Yes, if you are conducting many decision making, even multiple decision making may be occurred within a function, it will send only one return value from that particular function. Any number of return statements are allowed in a function definition, but only one of them is executed at runtime. When you are going to run the program, it will send only one value from through that function. The syntax of return then followed by the expression list. Next thing we are going to see about the scope of variables. Scope of variables refers to the part of the program where it is accessible, area where you can refer it. We can say that scope holds the current set of variables and their values. We will study two types of scopes in Python. One is local scope and global scope. A variable declared inside the function of body or in the local structure or block known as local variable. First we see what is scope. Scope is nothing but the limitation. Limitation in sense where it should be accessible, or else how the variable is going to be accessed within a program. These limitations will be set by the word of scope. The local scope is the lifetime of within a particular block. Here see the rules of local variables. A variable with local scope can be accessed only within the function block. When a variable is created inside the function block, the variable becomes local. A local variable only exists while the function is executing. The format arguments are also local to function. Here we see one example definition: local, then parenthesis y is equal to 0. Here the validity or limitation of this y will be accessible within inside the local definition or local function. Once you get out of that function, you will not able to access this y variable. Here we just print the y inside the function so that we get the output 0. Next we see one more example. Here you see definition local function y is local. Then we call the local function, then print y. Here this y will not accessible, so the compiler throws some error because the y variable declared as a local inside the particular function. Next one is global scope. A variable with global scope can be used anywhere in the program. It can be created by definition a variable outside the scope of any function. The basic rule of global keyword in Python: when we define variable outside the function, it is global by default. You don't have to use global keyword. We can use global keyword to read and write a global variable inside the function. This one is very important. When you are going to edit or modify the global variable inside the function, you want to declare the global keyword. Unless you no need to give this global keyword when you are declaring the variable as a global. That means while you are creating the variable as a global, there is no need to give the keyword of global. Use of global keyword outside a function has no effect. Now you see example of global variable. Here C1 is global variable. I didn't give any keyword of global. Next, definition starts printing the C value, then add function is called, output is 1 because the global variable already I give the default value of 1. Here no error will be comes because I just access the value. The next example, accessing the global variable from inside function, here with some additional modification. See Same, c is equal to 1 with the default value. Then definition starts. Here c is equal to c plus 2. I'm just increment the value by 2. This is not generally acceptable. Why? Because here we want to use one keyword global. Whatever you are seeing here, the global c, and then you followed by, you can increment or modify the value c plus 2 or else something. Then only the code will be executed properly. When you are going to edit that global variable, at the place above you want to give the keyword global followed by the variable name. Is it clear? Thank you for watching this video.